Yo, yo, yo. Yo, what's good, my anime people? What is good, yo? So, seeing how Black Clover decided to go pretty in this week, I'm excited to see what else they pull out that doesn't really seem to be expected as much as, I kind of saw some things coming and some things I really didn't see coming. So full blown Fire Lord episode type of deal here, man. Like holy crap, they're like, you know what, screw it. We got the fire guys here to make amends with. We need to make these guys look absolutely crazy and nutty because as of right now and lately they have not gotten any shine besides the shine of absolutely getting destroyed by practically whoever they come in contact with. So it was getting kind of bad for the Crimsons, but now that we see them actually, you know, doing something worth talking about in the case of their group taking out somebody, and not only that, the awakening of the sleeping prince, or sleeping king I should say, of the former captain of the Crimson Lions. Man, I have missed this guy. Sure, we didn't get much of him when he first showed up, but just his personality, just his character alone, I already knew what type of person he was. He was the motivational speaker. He was the guy who sees everybody literally down on the ground and still starts screaming, saying that we got this and this is all part of the plan because now we're about to win. You know, some motivational thing like that. Or not even, he would just show with his power that he's going to motivate you, and that is also something much more brilliantly done by him in this week's episode. He could have said a whole bunch of stuff when he first came out and, you know, trying to raise up their spirits and stuff like that, but he didn't need to because he's going to do it not only by showing up and by showing his comrades that he's finally awakened and okay, but also just by him stepping up to the plate like he does this week and absolutely destroy someone who is absolutely destroying others. And not only others, but someone who, you know, is supposed to be Asta's rival and stuff like that. So to see him, you know, just destroying somebody who seemingly is supposed to get bigger as the series goes on, because I'm just guessing in the grand scheme of, I say bigger because you can't call yourself Asta's rival and then never get any stronger to ever try to rival Asta, because your whole entire life should be to grow the same way Asta's growing, or the way anybody who's above you is growing, so you should be not that far behind always. And once you get to that point and you can finally find something like a salamander that chooses you or something, you might just become the next strongest in the kingdom. So with our fire guy, with him literally having Salamander, and supposedly when Asta went through Salamander and absolutely wrecked it during their fight, supposedly it disappeared ever since, which is weird. I'm guessing they knew that information from the girl who had him, so maybe she couldn't even, you know, talk or even activate them or something along those lines, because maybe of the brainwashing that was happening. So maybe the elf side of her was the side that was truly blessed with the ability to be able to summon and be able to contain that power, because the whole time she was fighting, she was relatively not in her right mindset. She was in whatever mindset that was like planted in her, or like the resurrection mind, I should say, came in. So it's almost as if, because she was lucky enough to be chosen by these elves in the resurrection process, that was truly the only saving grace of this character, and she reawoken because of the whole elf thing. But hers was definitely more unique with the Lich actually showing up, or should I say the guy who looked up to Lich. I forgot his name already. It's like Pedro or something, but someone who really looked up to Lich and wanted everything to go good for him, which we still haven't seen what Lich actually like sees in all of this. You know, like how does he feel about all of this? Sure, he was the one that casted that spell to make this all even possible, but is this what he truly wanted? Is this what he want his people to go through and, you know, destroy a whole entire race back once they came back to life, you know? So really interested in seeing. Dang, they made her so good. Her moves used to only go all over the place. Now they freaking track you. I gotta do a whole bunch of new character tests. My god. But yeah, I definitely love the way Black Clover just took its time with one of the characters we've been teased about all this time. There was so much that could have happened right here. He could have woken up and been on their team and then tried to fight everybody, right? Like, they could have gone in any number of directions just by how this episode's being played out. Actually, maybe they couldn't have gone in that direction just simply because of how much firepower, pun intended, they would have, you know? And it wouldn't have made much sense for the narrative of the story for the people who were already there at the battlefield to be able to fight him if he came back as an elf. So I respect that. Not only that, they have enough captains, okay? They got enough captains that switched over, and now we got enough captains that didn't switch over, that I feel like the show didn't overdo it with the captains so far. Sure, there's a captain or a former captain I wish would have been maybe one of the people, because he was just trash, and then we could have got, like, they take his body and then we keep one instead of the ones that they got. So if they would have took the gorillas, or the big guy who can turn invisible and stuff like that, he like cloaks himself. If they took him, I would have been alright. And then we get the painter back. Like, why did they get to take the painter, bruh? That was so dumb. He's too broken. So yeah, I'm looking forward to like this balancing they kind of have to do, because not only do we have to believe that the Clover Kingdom shouldn't lose, right? Like, they should somehow, some way figure all this out, but the whole fun part of that now is, how do they do it? How do they get, you know, around all of this ridiculousness that they just got put into? And if they do get around it, is it gonna feel cheap? Like, does it feel like it's actually earned, or does it feel like because here's my big concern now with the whole, with that exact statement that I made. They just gained a vice captain, vice captain. That's about captain level, right? So what happens when a vice captain, who should probably, he would be, let's put it this way, would he be a captain if he joined any of the other teams? Yes. I feel like there's 3 teams maybe he might be able to, and that's only because a lot of the people we haven't seen go through a Yami situation, or even the fire guy, the Crimson Lions guy, or even man, what's his name, the painter. So we've seen quite a bit of the captain's abilities and what they can do once they're even getting pushed further into making something that needs to be the end-all be-all of the fight, or just their protection at the end of the day. But now that they have like every single person in the Golden Dawn, which makes sense, you know, because Lich was probably not only having, what's his face, oh my god, that's why he was there and so happily recruiting people. I bet he was been recruiting, finding elf spell, like, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't make any sense to me why all of those Golden Dawn members have that, you know, like, why is that many of them taken over? Not to mention, if they're all the Golden Dawn, it's not even anymore. Like, I've completely forgot about it until I started talking about it. I was like, wait a minute. Their vice captain is pretty much a captain. Everybody on Golden Dawn is supposed to be the highest of the high, the goddess of the god, the G's of the G's, you know? But to be fair, that's what every single team was acting as, you know? So once we see that they don't get pushed as hard as other people do, like for instance, almost seeing the awakening in the youngest of the Crimson Lions that could become captain, we saw something pretty close to an awakening in him, and I like that potential of where I was going with saying, you know, you got to keep him in line with Asta. You shouldn't ever make someone be like, I'm going to be your rival, and then he never shows up to the plate to even have a one-on-one fight that would be worth watching with the two, you know? So this is kind of that to me. This is the whole, oh, he has a chance to probably give Asta a good fight again. Like, he's not back at where Asta was when they first saw each other's abilities and like, oh, I'm going to be your rival. No, they're both now reached new pinnacles. Not only that, they've the other guys learned Mana Skin and maybe even Mana Zone after this feeling of feeling his brother's energy completely engulfing the whole entire battlefield that they had laid out for themselves. That had to have been Mana Zone guaranteed, like freaking Spirit's version of Mana Zone. But yeah, guys, this is amazing. Not only that, he's actually not that mad about becoming the former captain because of his sister actually taking action and that being something he expected of her from the jump. Like, he saw definitely the most potential of a captain in her, and not only her, the person that he truly wanted to pass it down to. So I love their group's chemistry. Like, I love their story, that all their ties to each other, you know? We haven't even learned really the depths of it, you know, like maybe why the sister allowed the brother to be the captain, or, you know, maybe he was picked because he wasn't so like in your face screaming all that stuff. But at the same time, why would someone so powerful as her step down if when she was captain? And what happened to Noelle's mom, that, you know, maybe that was another reason why she wanted to take it easy and stuff and see if she can settle down, and it just didn't work out. Or I don't know. I just like the Crimson Lions. The Crimson Lions feel like the most put together squad outside of the Black Bulls, right? Like, in the case of who we know, what we know about them, and not only what we know about them, and how powerful are they compared to others. And that's really obvious now, because I think they just skyrocketed almost past Golden Dawns. Like, I mean, Yuno and Williams is carrying Golden Dawn at this point still, but to see the spirit on him and giving him this freaking dope firearm, not only that, him destroying an elf with little to zero effort and then holding him down so now he can't do anything. So yeah, he's truly ascended. And not only that, fire was getting blown away, and instead of being blown away, he took all the air and oxygen out of, like, bruh, he's so broke. Like, imagine if he just takes the oxygen out of every single fight. You literally have to wear Mana Skin just to fight him now. That's how high of a level of you know, concentration and stuff you have to be able to beat this guy. Not only that, the thing that kind of had me the most curious was if, yes, he was chosen by the spirit and his life flowed into him, are they going to do anything dumb like the spirit then decided to leave? You know, like, for some reason it felt better when Yuno earned his, because he went into a dungeon and found it and all this stuff. And this one kind of just found a sleeping king that he wanted to awaken. So when did this actually happen? Did he get hit with this ability, like, from the sky, and did the spirit fall to him at that moment to wake him up? Or did he already have it while he was in deep sleep and he was getting acquainted with it the whole time he was sleeping? That's the part that had me the most confused about the situation, because it did feel like, because it zoomed all, it panned up to something like on its way instead of something that's already been here. That kind of gave me that indication of, oh yes, this is the dragon finally arriving, or the salamander finally arriving to him, giving him this power to be much more strong. Not only that, actually even give him more ability to use his arm. Like if he got into a fist fight close range and he swings that fist, oh my god, like I want to see him in a fist fight and magic, you know what I mean? Like just put this man in an actual challenging fight, and I think all the Golden Dawns might be his true competitors. But with all that being said, I talked way too long on this already. I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely talk to you in the next one. Peace.